Okay, this story is gonna be about the time that one of my pretty good friends, fuck, took Xanax at a football game. And by the way, don't mind my acne here. I know it's gonna be staring at you the whole video. But anyway, so this was a normal night, right? And I go to this football game, and I told you guys in this past story. There's the football field, then there's the track field, then there's the bleachers above the track field, and this is where my first time trying chewing tobacco and a couple other shenanigans and stories that happened that I'll tell later happened. But anyway, this is a pretty crazy one. This is one of the big ones. So this night, I had some friends who at the time were into stuff like this, and I wasn't into like the harder stuff. You know, at this point, I had drank a little bit, I had smoked weed a couple times, but I wasn't into the hard stuff. You know, like anything above like weed. But on this night, my he's one of my best friends now. He had a couple pills of Xanax, and I had another friend who I'm not really friends with anymore. She dropped out of school, and we kind of had like a big fight before it all happened, and you know, I kind of regret the situation, but we're not on to sad topics right now. So he was already on it at the time, and he gave one to her, and I was just kind of like following them around. We were just hanging out because we were friends, right? And we were walking up, and I was talking to her. She seemed fine because you know they don't kick in right away. But there was the same night that my good friend, we'll call him Bill. He is one of my best friends now. Bill, okay? He got talked to by the police, and the police pulled him off to the side. Remember, this was like after he had all of his shit off him. She already took that pill. He had already taken it. He was fucking high. But anyway, he was like super duper stoned too. He had been like smoking for a couple hours, like straight. So he goes over there. He talks to these police officers, right? And they like pull him off to the side because we were in a huge group. This is where like this happened in the start of 8th grade, by the way. This is where all the middle school kids like hung out, like up at these bleachers, and a couple high school kids, but mainly like 7th, 8th grade. And he pulls them off to the side, and they're like talking, doing their interrogation. End up searching his backpack. Of course, he already took all of his drugs, so they're not gonna find any. But he still had a bottle of vape juice. Didn't even have a vape, so only caught him with that. So they kind of let him go. I talked to him a little bit. You know, apparently it wasn't nothing crazy. I just kind of like walked up to him. I was like, dude, what were they talking to you about? But yeah, that's pretty much it. And after that, I'm still following him around. We're still talking, still having a good time. And we're still with a couple other like 8th graders and stuff at the time. And I'm watching this girl. I'm watching it slowly start to hit her. And she's just like getting more and more out of it. And there was this point where we were watching up the I can't speak today. Walking up the bleachers, and she almost fell, dude. She was like, I was watching it hit her, and then like we all walked down to about the 50-yard line. If I right here, if y'all have ever watched this movie, Dazed and Confused, it's like, let's go smoke a joint on the 50 fucking yard line, man. It was that type of thing. Except sadly we weren't smoking any weed. That kind of sucked. But anyway, and we had 4 people. It was me, Bill, we'll call her Caroline, the girl that took the Xanax, and another girl. So me, Bill, and Caroline, and this other girl were on the 50-yard line, right? And Caroline, she just lays back. She like sinks into the grass. was just going like this, right? And I was like, ooh, she's gone, dude. And she like starts talking about it too. She's laying here. She's like, it just hit me. And I'm like, I can tell. But anyway, yeah, her other friend, she didn't realize she had taken it at the time. So he was like, you did drugs? I mean, we were in 8th grade, so like that was like a really big deal. I mean, all throughout school it's like a big deal to do like hard drugs. And like this friend of hers was pretty chill. She like knew that weed wasn't that bad. This girl Caroline smoked a ton of weed, but her friend knew that wasn't very bad and like wasn't very mad about that. But once she realized she took the hard stuff, that's like when she started getting mad. Yeah, and you know, I'm gonna start wrapping up the video, but please stay and watch this part if you enjoy stuff like this, and maybe you do stuff like this. Stay away from hard drugs as much as you can. I know you're gonna experiment. I know you're gonna do things, and whatever you do, just like try to negate the risk as much as you can. Right? Know what you're doing. Know how much you're taking. Know how much you can handle. I know none of you are going to do this, but if you can, test your drugs. That's huge. Test your drugs. Because, I mean, she got it from a guy that got it straight from the pharmacy, so we knew it was real. But, I mean, if you're getting Xans from Xans that have been through a couple hands, I mean, they could be pressed with fentanyl. Take a couple of them and you're dead. I mean, that's just the end of you. Like, you popped a Xan to have a good time and you just died. That's it. Like, imagine that. Just like popping a pill to have a good time and just dying. Imagine how bad that would suck. So, don't do hard drugs. I mean, you can smoke weed if you want. Be careful drinking. Be careful drinking. Don't drink and drive. If you do drugs, don't do drugs and drive. That's it. See you guys in the next one.